Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching the most recent Disney animated film named Wish. Now, with anti-Disney sentiment at an all-time high and with several major Disney films bombing in this year alone, can Wish end up being one of the few films that can help Disney celebrate their centennial in a big way? Well, they certainly do that part in this film, as the film has several callbacks and Easter eggs to some of the classics of Disney's past, but without much of an original bone in its body. Wish feels like the kind of celebration that you'll enjoy at sometimes in the moment, but will mostly feel is just forgettable. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story takes place in the Kingdom of Rosas, where Asha, played by Ariana DeBose, is a girl who wishes to have the wish of her old grandpa granted now that he's 100 years old. You see, the king of this kingdom, King Magnifico, played by Chris Pine, has the ability to grant people's wishes when they give them to him willingly. Basically, he's able to give people wishes they feels are best for the kingdom, and he gets to decide the wishes that are going to be safe for everyone to have, while also the ones that get to benefit not only him, but the people who he feels are worthy. But that much power and responsibility goes to King Magnifico's head, causing him to become a total narcissist who believes that he and he alone is the one who gets to decide who gets to succeed and who gets to fail. Basically turning him into judge, jury, and executioner. So when Asha makes her wish upon a star, and the star becomes an actual character who gets to grant wishes wherever it goes, Asha has to find out a way to stop King Magnifico before he basically uses forbidden magic to make all the subjects of his kingdom submit to his will. And that's basically the story. There's also a goat who gets to talk named Valentino, played by Alan Tudyk, but it's basically just there for comic relief, even if Alan Tudyk's voice is pretty funny. Now, through my synopsis of the story, you probably think that Chris Pine's King Magnifico would probably be the highlight of the film. And yeah, his charming performance does end up causing a few entertaining moments like some of the better Disney villains go. But the problem is his turn to villainy just happens way too freaking fast. You can see exactly where his character is going the very second he pops up on screen and the very second he loses his temper. And the film doesn't really seem to know if they're trying to make his reveal as a villain a secret, or if they're genuinely just trying to make him as maniacal and fun as possible. It feels like he flip-flops from scene to scene, and his character ends up a total mess because of that. On top of that, while the film has several Easter eggs to films like Peter Pan, Mary Poppins, and other Disney films of its type like Zootopia, it feels like these Easter eggs often come at the expense of the actual story, where it's as basic and cookie-cutter as you can imagine. Almost like it's the plot of a straight-to-DVD or straight-to-VHS sequel, like the ones from Disney Toon Studios. The film's not only very short at 92 minutes, but it feels like it rushes through a lot of scenes that could have been used to develop these characters just to get to some very rote action scenes and all the musical numbers. To be fair, some of the songs are genuinely pretty fun, like the opening song that introduces us to the city of Rosas, or even King Magnifico's villain song. But really, it feels like the songs happen mainly to sell a soundtrack more than to tell a story. Not to say that it doesn't tell the story through the songs, it just feels like the amount that they have feels like they had to pad out the film in order to get it to a decent runtime. And even then, it's a barely feature-length runtime. So, even the animation feels like it's a bit of a downgrade compared to the stuff Disney had before, where sometimes it looks genuinely great, and other times it feels inconsistent when it comes to quality, or when it comes to certain errors that you might catch throughout the film, which for a Disney animated film should come across as pretty disappointing, especially given how clean and crisp some of the effects and designs look. So in many ways, Wish feels like kind of a bummer. It felt like Disney wanted to create a film that would be fitting for their 100th anniversary with And while it still is able to tell a story that it could enchant both kids and adults, but instead we end up as a film that's more fun for a few scenes rather than the whole thing. It isn't a terrible film by any means, but it's genuinely one that I feel the most disappointed with, especially since I genuinely wanted this film to be absolutely great. At this point, I can just give it a 6 out of 10. And that's about the maximum rating I think most people will be able to give it. See you next time.